This is a tree which is giving life to the people of this community. This is the tree which is lifting the burdens of so many people here in Ndola, Zambia. A tree which is healing people from broken homes. A tree which is giving opportunities to those who are in need. A tree which is sharpening the future leaders. My name is Timothy Hara, and today's video is one of the special video because we want to talk about this tree which is changing the lives of these people in this community.
Welcome here. This is Mackenzie Community School, and I'm Nicholas Chisha, one of the founders of Mackenzie Community School. So here where we are standing, this is where the plan was hatched. Okay, this is where the vision started from. Here we started with only 10 learners under the supervision of Joseph Mkali, one of our brothers. Right? So under this very tree you are seeing right now, children used to gather here, about 10 of them. But you see, when the wind comes and the rains come, it was very difficult. So that's why we lobbied from our friends to help us build a structure. That's why we started with only one classroom. Okay, that was in 2000. Then we kept on increasing, and the number also of learners started increasing as more classrooms were built. We are so excited, this being the 25th anniversary of the school itself. Imagine, from 2000 to now 2025. We're so proud because this took a lot of sacrifice and resilience and also commitment. Our brothers and sisters coming from all over the world to come and help us, volunteers from America, from Europe, Africa itself. It was so wonderful, and we remember all those, and we're really so grateful that God could allow such a project to grow to this level, as you are going to see next. Imagine, from the tree now to such a complex. Okay. Thank you very much. I'm so grateful. My name is Nicholas Chisha, and I have been in this organization now for more than 40 years. You see, this Mackenzie Community School, it started in a very humble way. In that, in this community, there was no school at all. The children could run around, and so we were concerned. Why is it that these children are not going to school? So we had to make a research, and then we found out that most of them were coming from families which actually are broken families, others is single parent, others double orphans, so they cannot afford, the education of that time, when they had to pay education fees, buy school uniform, they could not afford. So we said, no, let's start from somewhere. That's why we started, first of all, teaching under a tree, like the one I showed you there. 10 children started, and slowly the number started going up. But as the demand came to a level where we needed to build infrastructure, that's why we started with one classroom. And we kept on building on that. And during that process of construction, we had so many volunteers who would come from different countries, different places. So in particular, we had one sister by the name of Claire, who came all the way from Switzerland, participated in that project, of constructing the second classroom. So she was very touched. When she went back to Switzerland, she mobilized a good number of volunteers from Switzerland, who came the following year, participated in a project of building now grade 4 classroom and an office. And when they went back, they're the ones, young people, who decided to say, no, let's form an organization. This is how IChange was born, from Switzerland, okay, to keep on helping Mackenzie up to this day, where they are supporting also the teachers. They're the ones who are supporting teachers' allowances, and also the infrastructure right now, like the building you have seen there, the 2-story building. This was by IChange. Thank you very much for that. In fact, this is a very good question, because The way it started, first of all, it was only for Mackenzie community. But as it started growing, and also the results, people started observing, because it's one of the very best community schools in terms of results. So other communities around started being attracted, like Masala, they're in Chipurokusu, also Ndeke. So we don't limit. Whoever wants an education, but they cannot afford to go to these other schools, they come through here because it's free education here. From the word go, when we started, it has always been free, no payment. Because our vision and hope is that each child should get education. Right now we have a situation where among these 470 learners, almost half is from outside. Not from Mackenzie in particular, but from outside. Because now everyone has come to appreciate the quality of education. Yes, because we don't emphasize, because it's a community school. No, we don't compromise on standards. It's like any other good school. So that's why our teachers are disciplined, our teachers are taught. Never ever you belittle the children because they're coming from this poor community. No, give your best. And that's how we have managed here. It's not easy. It's not really easy, I can assure you. But that aspect of feeding is under this partnership organization called Ingedi Trust, Ingedi Trust. This is the organization which is specifically looking at that aspect of feeding. Yes, then IChange looks specifically at the education aspect, supporting teachers and all the necessary infrastructure. So Ingedi takes responsibility for feeding all the children. And we know it's not easy for them. So usually they lobby from well-wishers within the country and also outside the country. Yeah, and we really appreciate their services because this helps a lot. Because most of these children come to school without eating completely. Because where they're coming from, there's no food on the table. Nothing to talk about. Before Ingedi came in, it was so difficult. Sometimes you find a kid that's come to school but he's sleeping. Then you ask, what's the problem? Hasn't eaten. Maybe even two, 3 days. So we said, no, this is not good. Then together with the community, through the chairman of the community, Mr. Zulu, is the one who brought on board Ingedi, who can now provide the feeding program. Yes. Thank you. Okay. No, that's a very good question. That's why we deliberately have a team that goes round to visit even the families, to see how these families are kept.
You mean away from school?
Yes, away from school.
They visit, for example, I live in
yes, they'll come there. Chipurukusu, they'll come there. Yes, to understand this child, what's the background coming from? Why is he behaving like this? Because I can assure you, many times the behavior of the child will be traced where they're coming from.
Yes.
Okay? Or how they are raised. The pressures that even the parents go through. Then you will understand better how to help this child. Because I can give you an example, for instance. If you don't carry out such a research, sometimes you end up punishing a boy without understanding, or punishing a girl without understanding why they come late, why they sleep in class. Because you have not made an effort to go down to the roots, which is the family, to go and find out how do they live, how do they get along. So we always make sure we interact even with the guardians, the parents, so that we understand, we have a full picture, so that we give the necessary support to the child. Now, usually what we do is, when we see a child is like trouble, we take first of all interest. Because then we will say, no, wait a minute, what is going on? So we make sure we get this child so that he can be able to have trust in us, to open up. So that he shares his history. Share, how are you living at home? How are you getting on? Because I can assure you, sometimes this child are abused by relatives and friends within the family. You will never know. And that's where it starts. So that's why when you see this peculiar behavior, you take interest. Then you can even visit their home. Look at the friends that he moves with. Then that way you can be able to help nicely because you are informed. You have the information that will help you to find a solution to help that child. But this takes a lot of keen interest. If it's not coming from your heart, you won't. You just simply say, okay, I've taught, it's okay, I've done my part. I'm not concerned about the life of this child. But you see, teaching goes beyond just A, B, C, D, 1 plus 2. It goes beyond that, the life of a child. So that's why you can see that we have an opportunity to transform this child, to become a better citizen, to become even a better leader tomorrow. Like you and I, I'm sure once upon a time, someone pushed us. Someone helped us to be here where we are today. Yes. That we can even have this interview. It's because someone helped me. So today it's payback for me. I remember those days when someone told me, no, so even me, I can see this is where I was going. No, Mana, come back. I know I've been there. But this is our motto. Usually many things, you see, like for instance, even when it comes to constructing, adding on more classes, we involve the community. Community involvement is very important because this is where true ownership comes, true responsibility. So usually we involve the community because we know at the end of the day, for this to be successful, unless the community comes on board. Yes. That's why even in our structure of the school itself, the community is there on the board. Okay. Yes. This has been always our appeal. That yes, funds can come from outside, but for how long? One day those funds will dry up. But the most powerful and the most guarantee is the people around our own community. That's why we have a program where we encourage all this neighborhood and even beyond to come on board. And how do we do it? We sell what we have done, what is going on. We involve them. Like today, which is a very special day for this school, 25 years in existence. That's why we're celebrating the anniversary. After 25 years, starting with one classroom now, look at what we have. All this also, we have had some families within the neighborhood who are well-to-do come on board. Like this classroom where we're sitting, built by one of the families within this community when they saw what has been done. Okay. And this family is Pastor Brian's family. We're very grateful. And not only himself, but also we have the temples, another family within. When they say, wow, yes, they come in. They're always supporting grade 7s. Each class of grade 7 every year, support. All the needs, they provide. At one time, yes, the fees, the school uniform. Wow. Yes. At one time, they provided shoes for the whole school, including teachers. Wow. Yes. So this is our hope that if the community, you and me and everybody else, can chip in, everyone brings one ngwe, two ngwe, it will make a difference. But if we look at how big the problem is, then we'll never get anywhere. Start with even one ngwe, one pen, one pencil. It goes a long way. That's why our appeal is to all well-wishers, please come on board. This is your school. It's about humanity. You educate this child, you help this child to get education. You never know, tomorrow will be the president or something. Will be a manager of some organization.
So how can we bring it in touch?
All they can do is simply call on us, even on our number 0966 909 407. If they cannot, they can even visit us here in Itawa, Mackenzie, Community in Dola, Zambia. They come physically and see. We always encourage people to come, feel and touch. Come on the ground, see it for yourself, see what you can do. We don't direct them what to do. No. When they come themselves, they will see the need. Then they can address it themselves. Like the ones who built this classroom, the family I'm talking about, Pastor Brian. They came around and said, what can we do? Say, look around. Then they said, we want to add one more classroom. Say, yeah, go ahead. They brought their own manpower, everything. So here we are building.
Okay.
In fact, that is what even gives me the courage and hope. And truly believe that the grace of God is there. When we started, no one believed us. The stories we're getting was, people have been here promising us now, what difference will it make? Many people came through, but nothing has been done. What are you going to do yourselves? But we never gave up. And as we started going on, many now started coming on board. Many started participating. There's a time when we just started grade 1. We had to labor to talk to parents and guardians to bring their sons and daughters to school. But today, we're overwhelmed because the response now, because they see the fruits. Like I was sharing with you, one of them who started with us under the tree, only 10 learners. Among those 10 learners, he was among the 10. Finished school, got his degree in teaching. Now he is the head teacher at this very school. Wow. From this very community. Wow. Even his whole family is still in this community. So when the whole community sees this, then they know, oh, so it is true. So they push the child, no, go to school. It's important because they can see. You know, like they say, seeing is believing, right? Yes. So this has helped a lot. And I've seen that people can change. People can change. No, right now, first of all, on behalf of all those who started this with me, who own the vision, IChange and IRFF and all these other international organizations that helped us, individuals, you know, above all, the government now coming in, yes, answering our prayer, our dream. Today we are talking of the government taking now full ownership of this school, which is so wonderful. September last year. Yeah, September last year, 2024, wow, gazetted. Mackenzie is no longer Mackenzie Community School. It is Mackenzie Basic School under government. If you go to the September 2024 Gazette, you find it's among those which have been now like adopted by the government. And this has been our prayer. Always we've been visiting them. We've been working in partnership with them. So now it's a dream come true. That means the burden mostly has been lifted. And we are hoping that this comes through. But still we'll be working with them. We'll be there for them. Like they have said, still we'll be there. Our dream is eventually this school can grow to even become a university. How wonderful it will. Yes. Because then it will give more opportunities. Because sometimes I look at the situation where you educate a child only up to grade 7, then what next? What next? So the dream is if we can go further, you know. And if all of us, imagine if all of us come on board, you put in something, our neighbor there, our friend, we can make it. Yes. Sometimes we can even make it without these outsiders, people from outside. Wow. No, let them also feel proud that what they started, we can continue. This should be the spirit. You know, not the spirit of kalomba always. But come on, we need to grow out of it. We should be proud that ourselves, as Zambians, we can come together and help our poor neighbor, help our poor community, help our own school. Yes. Yeah, my last remarks are simply that God is great. Surely He makes a way where there is no way. Because here we were sitting once upon a time, we were just plain bush. Yes. Nothing was here to talk about. But look at where we are. It's because of His grace. And today we are celebrating 25 years of existence, of resilience, perseverance, commitment. It's all by God's grace. And for you to even find it ideal that you interview me, I'm so humble. And I'm so grateful on behalf of the board and on behalf of all those who've been contributing and those yet to come. Yes, I'm so grateful. And those who also be able to have access to hear to this interview, all I say is, even them too in their own locality, no matter where they are, they can make a difference. You know, they can touch someone's heart. After all, the most noblest of all noble causes in the world is the cause of humanity. If you can touch a heart, give hope to someone, then you're home and dry. Thank you very much.